You're listening to the Spiritual Highways podcast with Leigh Ann and Michelle.
Hey guys, it's Leigh Ann and Michelle from Spiritual Highways.
Hello.
Hope everyone's doing well. We're on episode
8.
8.
Yep.
Wow. I think that calls for a celebration for 10, right?
Absolutely.
At least wine and cheese, right?
Or just wine. Wait, I just bought. Wait. I have to tell you real quick. Okay, so I can't drink wine.
Okay.
Because I get headaches, and
any kind or just like one particular?
Just
kind?
in general, like, well, I really drink anything. It gives me a headache, so I'm just like, it's just not worth it.
Right.
But I'm the mother of 3 boys at home.
Which calls for heavy drinking, actually.
Well, even just a light drink, just something to take off the edge for a reaction time, right? Mm-hmm. Well, a girlfriend of mine, she is a rep for Scout and Cellar. It's wine that has low sulfates or whatever the things are that cause headaches. Girl, I ordered 4 bottles.
Oh, wow. So can we taste it?
Yes.
Can we have a wine tasting?
I have some in the fridge. We can taste it.
Oh, yay. We should have taken that before we started the podcast.
We can get it during the podcast. That's all good.
Yep.
But anyway, so my friend Leslie, she is does the Scout and Cellar, and I ordered, and actually she brought me a little bottle to try, but I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and order, and I wanted free shipping, so I just ordered 4 bottles. Hey. And it's chilling in my fridge now. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm super excited.
I'm pretty excited myself.
Yeah, so we'll crack one of those open for our 10th episode. I totally went off on a tangent.
No, that's great.
But I'm super excited about trying it.
A lot of our listeners probably
would need relate. That. Yeah.
So then episode 9 we'll have a follow up with the wine, let you know how it is.
We'll review the wine.
Yes, absolutely. Or we'll make a separate video. Who knows?
It's a whole different podcast.
That's right. Hey, because that really is a problem for a lot of people. Not only that, it makes me flush. Like red wine makes me like my whole body turn red.
I get my nose turns red.
Oh, that's always
like
pretty.
W.C. Fields. I don't know if that's like
beyond.
It's my age, but he was like an old television personality, like black and white film type thing, but
now I don't even feel.
I don't know. Like I think
old. I just feel like not cultured.
Now I feel like I've just made a Steven Seagal reference, and it's like, where am I going with this? I don't even know. So let's just move along.
No worries.
Check, please.
Too funny. Well, like I said, we'll follow up.
We'll follow up with that.
Well, one thing that I definitely wanted to talk about is I've been seeing something that keep coming. Same thing keeps coming up in almost every one of my readings that I've been given. If you don't know, I am open to give you a reading if you have a loved one that you would like to see if they'll come through. I can't offer any promises, but Spirit does have a good track record for showing up when we ask, not even ask them to, but when we get together. So, anyways, when I've been meeting with people, I've noticed that I'm sending the same 3 links after, to help them move on, and it kind of use as a reference. And so I just kind of wanted to...
Like 3 links, like topics?
Actually, it's like 3 things that you can do to help with the situations that they're having. And the 3 situations are... and that's what I'd like to discuss.
Okay.
Is a lot of people don't realize that they're empaths, and they are. A lot of people are carrying around burdens that don't belong to them, and they don't know how to get rid of it.
Oh my gosh,
and
you are nailing all of this on the head.
And they don't even know how to recognize it.
Absolutely.
And and the third one is opening yourself to receive. Like what you want to receive versus what you don't want to receive. So that's kind of what I was thinking of.
Filtering it.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that would be right in alignment with things I've experienced this week. So I'm on board 100%.
Awesome. Well, good. I would like to start out first with knowing whether you're an empath. And a lot of people don't know what it is. And for those of you who don't know what an empath is a person who is very sensitive to other people's emotions or if you, for example, like you walk into a room and you can instantly feel when someone's angry. If you walk in and you're happy and you're like, yeah, this day's great, and then you walk in and you see somebody sad or they're angry and you feel like they are sucking the life out of you, and you went from this bubbly happy place to this low, like,
it hits you like a ton of bricks.
It really does.
If you're not prepared.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that most people, and I would say everybody, is in somewhat of an empath.
To varying degrees.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree that some people don't realize they are. I didn't realize I was for the longest time because I didn't know there was a word for it.
Right.
Like, what you do. You didn't know as a child this was a thing. You just probably assumed that everybody was like that.
Right.
And so, yeah, finding out, there's a word for this.
Yeah. And then I feel like when you call it by its name, it becomes easier to deal with. Like, kind of like when you're sick, when you've been dealing with an illness and you're not sure what it is, it's like, it's exhausting. But when you know what it is, and it's like, okay, I know how to handle it and know what the remedies are.
Right. It gives you a path to follow. Like, okay, let's do this.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what I wanted to bring to the table today. Some other signs that you're empath, or like Michelle said, to a varying degree, is you'll be sensitive to movies like Cold Mountain. Cold Mountain stuck with me for months. I did not I couldn't watch it. Like, I felt like and of course I'm a little bit more sensitive than most, but I'm serious. That movie sucked me in. It still kind of makes me nervous and anxious.
I understand. I have some movies that have stuck, and books, and there are now shows I stay away from because I'm like, I can't let that in.
Right.
Like I can't allow that in my space, in my head. So I have to be careful of who I allow in my head, what voices, and I don't mean voices in my head. That's a whole other topic.
Another episode. We'll talk about the voices in Michelle's head.
But seriously, like when you're listening to someone, and you're like, I don't know, you just have to be careful of who I allow, and it could be from a movie, a book, a speaker, someone, anyone. You just have to be careful.
It makes sense. It really does.
Yeah. I'm reading your list here, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, that's a thing? I didn't realize that was part of being an empath.
Yeah. Like being overwhelmed in public places.
Well, yeah. Hello.
Especially like the grocery store where you're having or the mall. The mall.
I can't do the mall.
You know what else?
It stresses me out so bad.
Me too. I am not a shopper.
I am like beeline, like get to my destination, get out.
Get in, get
out.
Right.
And just even like Walmart, like I have to get in, get out. Like pickup is like answer to my prayers. Because
I believe it.
I don't, you don't have to interact. Around. Yeah, interact. And I don't mind interacting. I don't, but I don't know. It's just, it can be overwhelming if you don't go in prepared.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you a story about that. But I want to hear about your list because I'm seeing you snuck all these in. I didn't see you write all that.
I know. Oh, look, I was being proactive, like
every
now and then.
I love it.
One place that really gets me, surprisingly, is a movie theater, and I guess because everybody's kind of zen and quiet, and that kind of opens up things. But that's another place. But there's positive things like your empaths are usually the peacemakers. Like they want everybody. Oh, let's be calm, let's be happy. And, but it also can cause you to have mood swings. You could be happy one minute and sad the next. And it could also cause you physical pain, from being,
holding on to so much of it.
And that's actually what I'm going to go right back to. The other one I wanted to say was your sensitivity to antiques. A lot of times when you have people that go and visit old homes or have a lot of, I know your family has a bunch of furniture and different things that you have in your home, but you don't even realize it, but you're more sensitive to those.
I am, but I seek them out. Like even when I made this space, I had to get an old piece.
Oh, yes.
And that's the old
radio. We love the radio.
Yeah. It's just, it was peaceful for me. So everything was new, you know, and I was like, I need an anchor piece. I need something that connects me. And that is that radio for sure.
We'll have to post a picture on the website.
We will, because I love it. It's so beautiful.
Oh, it's great. It really sets the tone.
It does.
And so, anyways, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I have so many people that come in, and after their reading, we're speaking, and they tell me that they're just kind of overwhelmed, and they go from being happy to being sad, and they just feel drained, and it's like they tell me I just don't know what to do. It's like I know I'm happy and there's nothing wrong, but I'm just carrying all this weight. And so one of the first thing I have them do is say, okay, let's evaluate, what are you carrying and who does it really belong to? Are the burdens that you're carrying, are they really yours? And really, what does that look like? And so when they start to name those things is really when they're like I've been worrying about, what's going on with my mom, or, as an example, but I don't have any control of that. So it doesn't make sense for me to carry it. So, so we go through, and that's the first thing, is kind of to a high level clean out what I'm worried about on the outside. Right. Well, then once you identify those, it's like, okay, what do I do to prevent me from picking up on things? And let me go back a little bit. When we go into Walmart, when we are going into all these places, everything has energy, everything has vibrations, and we pick up. We're kind of like ticky-tack, all right? And when we go into different places and we interact with different people, their energy and their vibrations stick to you. And if you could, it would be like looking at a piece of gum stuck on the floor, and as people walk, there's little giddios that get stuck on there. That's like what we are. And if we don't know how to clean that, or if we don't know how to put surround us in a bubble to protect us from those things, all of that will weigh us down.
And you are carrying it out of the store along with all your groceries.
Exactly. Stuck on the bottom of your feet. I mean, all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
And so it's very exhausting. And so I just kind of wanted to share with everyone some of the ways that we can go about releasing that.
This is huge, because I started doing this years ago, not realizing what it was. Like, I didn't have a word. I hadn't named it. Mm-hmm. I just knew this is what I had to do to get through the day.
Well, and why don't you tell them? I know you're definitely a white light girl.
Well, okay, so everybody has their way that they pray, and for me, I pray with light. And so when I pray, I visualize. So I might be saying words in my head or out loud, usually in my head, and but I visualize in light. So that's just the thing that works for me. And I found that if I wrapped myself in white light before I went into anywhere, any situation, it helped me process the day. And I would, and I still do, I do it every day. I do it, and I notice on the days that I forget, mm-hmm. that my day is different. I'm more drained at the end of the day.
Well, in your line of work, which, hair, that is like that is like the place, because people are going to,
and they come and they relax.
They
come and relax, and you don't want to carry it with you. And I have found that when I do this, the gift that I get is that I don't remember what they tell me. Mm-hmm. So that's lesson number one. If I don't remember what they tell me, I certainly can't carry it with me.
Correct.
And that's a gift for them too, because I don't need to remember that.
Right.
That is their story. I don't need their details. I don't need to remember their stories. But if I can help them in the moment, great. The days that I forget are the days that I don't do hair, because I've lost my routine. My routine is, I get up, I get dressed, I get in the car, I come to work. On my way to work, I say my prayers, I surround myself in white light. I wrap my chairs in white light so that my client's protected. Okay, clients, don't freak out on me, but your chair's wrapped in white light. You probably didn't know that, but now you do. But it is definitely a difference in my day. I definitely don't notice it. The thing, since we started this podcast, that I realized that I had not been doing was protecting myself before I went home, before I changed transition.
Right.
Before I transitioned to do it again, because I was now going to another place with more people and their energies. Even though they're familiar people, they're my family. They have their own energies. They have what they went through in the day, and they bring that home. And so it doesn't keep you from caring. It keeps you from absorbing. And that's the difference. Because absorbing the energy isn't going to make you care less or care more. That is just invading your space that's meant for you and your energy and your wellness. So I feel like protection and prayer is all coexists together.
Right. And I think it's important too, before you, like you said, wrap yourself in white light and prayer, I feel like it's very important to detach the things that are that burden you.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to pray. I'm just or whether to do it or not.
I'm just saying this is how I do it.
Right. This is just our take on it. But I have found that, and a lot of my clients will come back and say, "Oh my gosh, this really made a big difference." And there is, I will put a link on the bottom of the wherever we posted and on the website of where you can find these tools. There's a YouTube. Kyle Gray is amazing. And he kind of walks you through the little prayer. They're like 5-minute videos that they're fabulous if you want to check out. But he talks about how you detach yourself, like in saying that it's just asking your angels to please help me to let go of the things, the people, places, things that I no longer need, and then you're wrapping yourself in God's white light, or however you want to look at it, and it's so freeing because it's like you almost feel like there's a weight lifted up, like
I don't have to carry all this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All you have to do is wear your white light. You don't have to carry all the stuff you were carrying. It's okay to put it down.
So I mean, what we're saying, I guess to wrap that up would be, just say a prayer, or how to whatever divine universe that you choose to, and ask that you release the burdens that are no longer your own, and then to protect yourself in whatever light that you choose to have. And the second thing that I wanted to recommend, and that I do recommend to a lot of people, is there is a way that it's going to sound funny, but if that still doesn't help, which it should, one of the practices that I like to do is a salt bath, and that really gives you a physical
release.
Oh yeah, it's like, okay, I'm doing this like something I can touch. A lot of people like that, but I don't mean everybody says, "Oh, I've got Epsom salt." Nope, I'm talking about Morton's.
Regular
salt, navy blue with a little, yellow umbrella girl. Yeah, regular salt. And I pour that in the tub, and I take anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes and just kind of relax in the tub. And I pour a lot. On those heavy weeks, I'm like, I'll use a whole box of it. And sometimes I'll just like a dab. And, you just rinse your whole body off in it. And then right before you get out, of course, you want to rinse your whole entire body completely. And there's something just cleansing. If you think about going to the beach, when you get into the ocean, in that salt water, you feel different. You feel grounded, of course, at the beach. Your feet are in the water. It just is a very physical,
tangible
way to just release. And then I like to even visualize like all of the attachments and all of the junk just going down the drain.
Oh, that's a really good visual. I like that.
Yeah, and I mean it's something that everybody can do. You don't have to be a meditate. Don't have to meditate or anything.
I definitely think that's complete. And the biggest thing that you are going to face in doing these things is remembering to do them.
Absolutely,
they work. I'm a firm believer in it. I know it works. It's remembering to do it. And even if you set a reminder on your phone every morning at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Or every evening, to take your bath, however many days a week you want to do that, but just a reminder to yourself to do this and make it part of your routine.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think whenever you're finished with all, you've released all your burdens, you've surrounded yourself in God's white light, is what I like to say, and you say you've taken a bath and you've cleansed all it, so you're like a fresh newborn baby in the morning or in the evening. A lot of things. This is another thing that I often recommend is, are you open to receive? Because we talk about, we've just talked about like letting go everything, but we really, what does it look like to open yourself up to receive what you want, what good? And a lot of times we say we want all of these things, the things that we do want, because all the other stuff sticks to us. But we've cleared ourselves out, but we need to open ourselves up to receive. And that can be as simple as just a prayer too, and just saying, okay, divine universe, I am open to receive whatever is in your will, or however you want to do it.
Right.
But it's important to be open to receive what is good to you,
Right.
and to release what is no longer serving. So open yourself just by saying that you're open to receive goodness or abundance or joy or happiness. Really paint that picture of what it is that you want to receive. And all of what we're saying, aside from the bath, takes all of 5 minutes, if that.
Just remember to do it.
Yeah, just exactly like you said, the hardest part is remembering.
Right.
But when you are calling it by name, which is something that we've really,
it keeps coming around.
It really does. I think we're going to have to do an episode on just calling it by name, or a segment or something, because that is something that keeps coming up. But paint the picture of what you want to receive for each day. Healing, happiness, good health, whatever it is, resolution,
like? Right.
So those are some things that I've been noticing that have kept coming up, and I hope that, by letting everybody know that, guess what, you're probably an empath. You're not crazy, and, by calling it by its name, you've identified it, and it can really help you, and I'm hoping that by sharing that, a lot of people will get a lot of resolution from that, or understanding. For sure.
Absolutely. I feel like, and this is something I just learned, a friend of mine told me this information, and I just ran with it in praying. Instead of saying, God, please help me to have patience, or please help me to do this, I just say, God, be.
Oh, that has saved me so much. I love that.
It's just, it cut away all the fluff, and was like direct, like plugged in directly to him, like, God, be my employer, be my support, be my provider, be my family, be just whatever it is that you're
my stress relief. Hello.
Right. Be my peace.
Yeah.
Be my, if you just say, God, be this, then you just gave him permission to work and do what needs to be done. And again, then you don't have to carry all those things around with you and wait for him to help you figure it out. Let him figure it out. You've just opened yourself up to say, God, be.
Right.
And watch what happens. Because it's really, really a game changer. It has been for me anyway.
Yes, absolutely. No, since you've told me that, I've actually shared that with several people, and it really has made a difference. It feels like it's more of an action.
Sharing it. I love sharing it with people, because then I like to see their face go, oh, yeah.
You know what, I'm going to say this. I don't know I hope you don't mind that I'm saying this, but especially since we're recording,
Yeah, put me on the spot.
Yeah, there you go. But the other day you told me something, I'm like, whoa, that's a really great way to look at things. You said you had told somebody that, God must be testing you. And their response to you was, it's not God testing you. It's the devil testing you. It's God's, it's how God is your reaction.
Yeah. Well,
Did I say that right?
Yes. And she said, the devil tests you, God provides you the resources.
How
to
you
handle
react
it.
to it, right?
Yeah, so God isn't going to test you, but God is going to give you the tools you need to get through the situation.
Right.
So you don't ever have to feel like God is the one testing you, but God is the one building you up and preparing you.
Huh.
And
I just love that.
It totally flipped the script for me because
I even called you on it the other day. I'm like, hey, by the way, but no, I
it
I
was
hated
so
it.
powerful. Yeah,
It really was. I felt like it was totally necessary.
and I've used it a few times.
I don't know where she gets all this stuff out, but I'm like, hey, that's good stuff right there. Let me look in my Michelle toolbox and see what I need to pull out.
No, it's just, I mean, I think it's really just listening to the people that you allow in your life.
Yeah.
Like I said, you pick the people that you're going to listen to, and then those people are going to steer you in the right direction and give you what you need to hear. And
I totally agree. And you know what? It doesn't have to look like one particular way or the other. You know, like
I get different.
oh yeah.
Like I have.
Like, okay, I was reading something last night, and it was talking about silence, like sitting in silence, and how Buddhist monks, that's why they sit in silence, is just to listen, and to be aware. So I feel like there's no one complete source that you grab all your information from. It's like you said, wherever.
Yeah, whatever helps you be whatever you are.
That's right.
Do that, because the Dalai Lama said that. He said, don't use Buddhism to be a Buddhist, use it to be whatever you are. So if you're a Christian and you find something that's in the Buddhist tradition, whether it's meditation or whatever, and it helps you be a better Christian in your faith, great. I mean, God's all for you being a better whatever you are. So
well, that's what I was watching. It makes me think of the movie A Life of Pi. I'm really like movies. Really, like
that movie messed me up.
Really,
that
Why?
Ending was just freaked me out. Yeah.
Oh, it kind of threw you for a loop.
I mean, we're not going to do any spoilers in case somebody hasn't seen
that's
it.
true.
But I was just like, what? But it was good. But it was good. It was
good. I was so busy taking I am so bad about in the middle of the movie, if something will completely resonate with me, and so I'll pause it and then rewind it and then write it and then pause it and so. Sometimes I have to watch it twice. Cause
sometimes you have to watch it by yourself, because if you did that to me, I would punch you in the face. I just want to watch the movie.
Wait, can we rewind it? I need to write this down. So I did. I totally did. But it was a couple of things. Faith is a house with many floors was one of the quotes that they said. I love that.
That's a beautiful quote.
And the other one was, I found faith of God in Hinduism, but I found God's love through Christ. And I'm like, wait, what? That was pretty, I don't know. And for whatever it means to anybody else, I just, it just really, I don't know. I just liked it. And I think I might have misquoted that a little bit, but I mean,
the feeling it gave you.
It just was great. It was just like, okay, this is an open field of, flowers. Just go pick whatever one you want. Whatever one smells the best.
Whatever strikes your fancy.
But
I think that's the thing of, cleansing and being open to seeing God every day. And you are going to hear words of wisdom, whether it comes from a song lyric or it comes from a quote or it comes from a movie or a book. You're allowing him to speak to you in whatever format he can get through to you.
Correct.
And I just happen to have some really dear friends that will text me scripture out of the blue, or, I don't know. And then you and I talk, and then we're like, wait, what about this? And what about this? And you're like, whoa, wait, what? And so it's just deciding I'm going to hear him every day.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the message is, I'm going to hear him.
That's right.
And, that's it.
I think I had done a painting once that I think you remember, the ivory tower. And it was all the little pieces and parts to get there. We're all headed, everybody's on for the most part, a goal.
Yeah. Headed to the same place.
Yeah. Or at least we hope.
And we hope so.
Yeah. And it's just, whatever highway you decide to take to get there.
Yeah.
Pun absolutely intended on that, by the way.
And we're all in it together.
Yeah. Okay, I totally really want to sing, from High School Musical. We're all in this together, but I'm not going to put you through that, so I'm going to hold back. I'm trying really hard. But no, those are just some things that have really impacted, I know me, for sure, but it makes me think of a reading I had given to a guy not too long ago, and this has happened a few times where you know you learn something from somebody, and somebody will come out. Let me back up. I'll be with a client, and they will be expecting Grandma Susie to come through. Okay, well, instead of Grandma Susie, William, that you met once, and that he moved Coke bottles for a grocery store that you occasionally passed, that you said hello to, he decides to come through. And the person, my client, is like, okay, and why?
Names have been changed, people, don't worry.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's like, why is this guy coming through? It's puzzling to them. And in this scenario the specific one that I'm talking about, it was this gentleman, like the William, the Coke bottle, guy. He totally was impacted by watching my client. Like, he was moved and driven, because he says that he always would watch him come in, and he always had a smile on his face. He'd go into work and he'd bounce into work, and he was always so happy. And how he said, as he was watching him, he was delivering Coke bottles, and, he'd speak to him. And he said, he just made me feel important. He made me feel important. And so my client's like, whoa. I just saw him in passing, and we saw, hey, and then he noticed he wasn't coming. The delivery guy changed, and he asked, and he said that he had passed away. And he said he didn't realize how much that he got used to seeing this person. So it's like all these little things that we do, whether it's even
conscious or subconscious.
Right.
Yeah.
And just what I'm getting at is even just a smile, can really impact another person's day.
Oh,
and change their perspective.
I firmly believe that.
And
you never know who you're going to impact.
Absolutely.
And you might never know.
Right.
But then there's that movie, the 5 People You Meet in Heaven.
I haven't read that.
Oh, it's so good, and the movie's good too. And it's just about these 5 people that you made an impact in their lives, and but you might not know who they were or the impact you made, and so you just never know whose lives you're going to touch, and so that's really cool for your client.
Yeah, it really was. It makes you think. It's like, whoa, what little bitty things that I do, like the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
Like by a flap. What did you say?
A butterfly.
Yeah.
Flaps its
Flap
wings.
Just seems so.
It could trigger an avalanche. Or
Right.
Let's do positive. No triggering avalanche of smiles, people. Smiles and hugs.
Oh, wow.
Let's bring it around.
Let's Bob Ross this up a little bit. Let's paint some.
I'm totally Bob Ross in this.
I'm telling you. I'm kind of stuck with the butterfly flap. I just feel like that's heavy for a butterfly. Flutter.
A flutter. They
flutters. Yeah, I like that better than
flutter.
flap.
Flap.
But
we're going to flutter.
Yeah, flutter. Well, and I think, it's... Yeah. That's right. I'm sorry. I just had I have.
Are you seeing Bob Ross now?
No, I'm looking. Oh no. It's funny. I have a lot of people ask me that. Okay, we can have questions for Leigh Ann moment. That is one question that I get a lot. Do famous people ever come through? And I will say I have 2 frequent flyers that are famous, and I do not discuss them.
Interesting.
Yes, there was one that he really, really, his presence to this day, it unnerves me. And not in a, oh my God, you're famous type of way. It was an actor, and he was somebody that I always was I felt like I knew him, kind of you meet soul mates throughout time.
Right.
And or you meet somebody and you're like, God, I feel like I know you. It was one of those things, and I didn't understand why for many years. And after he passed very abruptly and tragically, I might add, it really affected me. And out of nowhere, because this is not one of my go-to people. And not too long after, he came through several times, and I don't even mention his name to anybody, because when I do, it comes back up and it just brings up. So there's definitely,
don't speak its name.
No. But and then there's one more, but I've only gotten two, and the other one was not near as famous as the other. Why? I'm just still not sure.
Well, because they know you can listen.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Like he came when the first one came through. It was he does show me how things. I guess little things for me to be able to use to help other people. And I guess that was the reason being. But yeah, and to see how you can be in relation to people, and I'm not talking about genetically, but in soulfully related to other people that are from a distance. And so, like I said, so yes, I do, but names are protected for to protect the innocent, if that makes sense. But no, I wanted to look through my list, make sure we went off for our alert. One thing I'd like to throw out for just a half a second, is Michelle just said when you're looking at an empath, she gave the example of a dog whistle. Like, you can't see it.
And you can't hear it.
You can't hear it. No, you can't see it. Well, I guess you can see the whistle. I was thinking the sounds from the whistle.
But it makes dogs crazy.
Yeah.
Because they can hear it, but we can't. So it's
right.
the same with energy.
Right. I just like that example, so I wanted to throw that out. So I hope everybody got something from this episode. I'm sure they did.
Little nugget.
Yeah. So we'll put some pictures up of our piece up front. And there was some other thing I said we were going to...
The links for people.
The links, that's right. But I thought there was another picture. Oh, well, just ignore me. I've done my
She's going to be rewinding movies and writing random quotes.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody has a great day.
Next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Highways podcast with Leigh Ann and Michelle. Catch up on past episodes at spiritualhighways.com, on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, and more.